Hello, my name is Will Henry. A few days after every Christmas, my mother's side of the family meets up at my grandmother's house to celebrate Christmas. This continued until 2016 when she sadly passed away. She loved Christmas and it was her favorite holiday. She always got us grandchildren big gifts. While these gifts changed every year for the most part, there was one gift that I got every year that was the same: a new decorative nutcracker. It was a tradition that had gone on for years between the two of us. Thanks to my grandmother, I have an entire shelf of nutcrackers that stay up year round. These dolls aren't necessarily functional, but the memories that are attached to them make up for any amount of shells I could crush. However, the Nutcracker doll has a history and meaning that goes far past humanity's need to crack open walnuts. From its less decorative predecessors to its German heritage and even its modern iterations, nutcrackers are an unmistakable hallmark of holiday tradition. Nutcracker soldiers are not the original form of nutcrackers. Humanity has been eating nuts since the prehistoric times and finding innovative ways to make it easier. According to the history section of the Leavenworth Nutcracker Museum's website, archaeologists have found evidence of humans using rocks to crack open nuts as far back as 8,000 years ago. While these ancient societies understood the need to open up nuts, they never quite figured out a more intelligent way. The first metal nutcrackers trace back to the 14th century. This type of nutcracker is still widely used today. You don't often see someone using a rock to open a nut anymore, do you? The soldier-shaped nutcrackers that we know today didn't come around until later. In the late 17th century, German toy makers from the Ezra-Bridge region began carving the earliest versions of the soldier-shaped nutcracker. These figurines were considered good luck, though they were not supremely common yet. The true popularity of the nutcracker came in 1892. In a nutshell, a brief history of the nutcrackers. Author Noreen Malone explains that this type of nutcracker was given its biggest boost in popularity because of Peter Tchaikovsky's iconic ballet, The Nutcracker. In the ballet, which is based off an earlier story, Tchaikovsky tells a story of a young girl who is gifted a nutcracker for Christmas and proceeds to have fantastical dreams involving another wintry world. Up until the 1940s, nutcrackers in all shapes were primarily useful. It was rare to find one that was too weak to crack a nut. After all, it's in the name. In her National Geographic article, Why Fancy Nutcrackers Don't Actually Crack Nuts, author Mary Beth Albright finds that this decorative nutcracker became non-functional, mainly because it saved money and there wasn't a high enough demand for them. America's new obsession with finding the cheapest ways to consume products affected even the nutcracker. Nutcrackers now come in many different shapes and sizes from many places. You can find nutcrackers shaped as different characters, professions, and even some shaped as animals. Here are a couple of nutcrackers from my collection. This nutcracker is very special to me because it's the last one my grandmother gave to me before she passed away. Nutcracker doll has a varied past, and its meaning and functionality have changed over the years. At one point, it was 2 rocks. At one point, it was just metal, and it existed solely just to crack nuts with. And now it stands as a decoration in most households during the holidays. Although ultimately the goal of cracking nuts was traded for a cheaper decorative item, even these purely aesthetic toys provide a sense of holiday whimsy in every home and storefront where they stand guard.